Do you love yourself enough to make lifestyle changes? Because many people are living a lifestyle that makes them sick, and they stay in that constant sick mode. They're getting sick 2 or 3 or 4 times a year, and they don't feel well. They have no energy, no clarity. So you have to change what's not working. Don't expect to keep doing the same things and getting different results. You're going to get the same result. Just a pattern of getting sick, feeling tired, and just overall not a good feeling of well-being. So you have to make the lifestyle changes. You know, most of you know I'm a Bible student, and Jesus said to love your neighbor as yourself. So he was acknowledging that we need to love ourselves. We need to nurture our bodies that God gave us to take us through this life. So it's important that we have a certain amount of respect for our bodies and for our health. So, you know, you have to make those changes. And I found an interesting story on the internet recently. A Dr. Baxter Montgomery, he's a cardiologist from Houston, and it was very interesting. I mean, this man went through medical school, the internship, and then he started his own cardiology practice. But he's still alive. He's a good man. He was very concerned that his patients were not getting better. With all the latest, statins, the pharmaceuticals, they had all the latest technology and procedures that the medical world has to offer. But his patients were not getting better. So he started to delve into alternative healthcare books and things like herbs and natural remedies and so forth. And he found one common denominator, and that was that diet has a huge impact on the results that you're going to get for your health, the lifestyle, the diet. And the other common denominator that he found was that a plant-based diet was the best diet for heart health, for sure, but not only heart health. All of them fall into that category: diabetes, cancer, too much saturated fats. So he started to change what he was teaching his patients. And he had one woman who was so sick. I mean, she had heart problems. She had had numerous heart operations. She could barely talk. She was not happy. She couldn't even smile. Very sad situation. He put her on a 10-day all raw juice fast. And after 10 days, the woman was talking. She was smiling. She was feeling a heck of a lot better. So his whole approach has completely changed. He has a clinic now in Houston where he treats people with diet, exercise, and knowledge. He educates them on what has caused their problem and how to keep reversing and to prevent it from ever coming back. And he made a statement I thought that was really interesting. He said that, the change in diet, the same as Dr. Campbell, he said that, changing your diet to a whole food, plant-based diet can do more for you than any statins or any type of medical procedure. And he compared it to, let's say you were in a car race, the Indy 500. What would you rather be in? You know, a race car or a bicycle? Obviously, you're going to lose if you're on the bicycle. So he compared that. A whole food, plant-based diet is like driving the race car. And the standard American SAD diet is like being on the bicycle. Nothing's going to change. It's going to stay the same. And you're going to start to think, oh, this is the way I'm supposed to feel. This is normal. It's not normal. You know, there's another saying I really like, and that is that, well, let me explain something first. A lot of people will say, yeah, I'm overweight, but that's because it's in my genes. Or, yeah, I ended up with diabetes because my parents had diabetes. Or my parents had heart disease. Or my parents died of cancer. So they feel that they're doomed to repeat the same thing. And it's simply not true. And here's the saying, quote, genes load the gun, but lifestyle pulls the trigger. And that's so true. You can change anything. So the bottom line is, you've got to change the lifestyle. That's going to be absolutely key. And many times, yes, you may be born with a predisposition to a certain disease, but that's because your parents were eating a SAD diet and they passed on that SAD diet that they have in their bodies to you. Now, you can change that by stopping all the processed foods and all the animal products, just by going to a much, much cleaner for the digestive tract and unclogging, non-congesting diet of plants where you're eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, small amounts of nuts and seeds. So the bottom line is that we have to have a certain amount of love and respect for our bodies. Now, we don't want to go overboard and, think that's the only thing we have to do in life. No, of course not. But remember, it's going to be a big part of your overall life, how you can help others and how you treat others is going to be your level of health. If you're healthier, you're going to be much more valuable to helping your relatives, friends, and others that need it. So try and make the changes as best you can. Start off simple, just fruit for breakfast. Do that for a couple of weeks. Then just try and have fruit for breakfast and lunch. Try that for a month. And then try and have fruit for breakfast, lunch, and before dinner. That way you won't be craving sweets after dinner. And I would highly recommend no animal products, but, if you want to, if you're transitioning, that may work for you, but get as clean as you can, pasture and all that, pasture fed, or no, what is it? Pasture raised and grass fed. So, but, the more you get away from the animal products, the healthier you are going to be. There's no question. And it'll increase your energy levels. So I invite you to post a comment, please. Any questions or concerns, please post a comment, or you can go to my website, Fruit and Sport, and you can get in touch with me from there. So all the best. Fruit up. I'm doing it today. So far, all I've had today is orange juice and watermelon. That's it so far. I know there's bananas that are going to be in the day, probably some berries, and maybe a salad, a savory salad later tonight. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. All the best, guys. Take care and fruit up, baby. Fruit up. Adios, amigos.